On Tuesday night, Chairman of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda Gaston Browne, said that even though Haitian nationals have the right to move freely under CARICOM, there are instances where the free movement of people has to be contextualized. Speaking at a press conference held at the end of the two-day 42nd regular meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of CARICOM, the Antiguan Prime Minister drew attention to two specific concerns over the movement of Haitian nationals in the region.
I recognize that some countries have been trying to manage their immigration policy and not to have a large enough influx of Haitians in which they will become overwhelmed. So that has been a vexing issue, not necessarily in keeping with the treaty requirements. But we have to be pragmatic about these things. I mean, a country like St. Kitts, Nevis, for example, if St. Kitts Nevis were to get, let's say, 50,000 of the 11 million Haitians, then clearly, they'll become overwhelmed almost overnight. Their social services and so on will be strained. So countries have had to, put systems in place to curb that type of situation, especially, those who may have entered these countries without going through the proper, protocols. In fact, there are many of them who have been told that may have been smuggled into various countries within the region. And, it's one thing to have the right to move, but if you do not follow the administrative arrangements and the legal arrangements and you smuggle into the country, then, evidently steps have to be taken to protect the integrity of the receiving state.
Many CARICOM countries, including Guyana, have imposed restrictions on Haitian nationals. In Guyana, the reinstituting of the visa requirements for Haitian nationals was recently done, due to the illegal departure of thousands of Haitian nationals. In fact, between 2015 and 2021, a total of 42,100 Haitian nationals are recorded to have arrived in Guyana, according to figures confirmed by the newsroom. But of that number, only 3,913 persons were recorded to have departed. CARICOM Secretary General Erwin LaRocque also stated that CARICOM's revised Treaty of Chaguaramas provides some exceptions to free movement on the basis of public health and morals. Importantly, he said that there seems to be a worrying situation where Haitian nationals are being taken advantage of.
That under normal circumstances, as Prime Minister has mentioned, Haitian nationals would have free access to enter like any other CARICOM nationals. But there has been, as has been evident in a number of member states, and it's a very worrying situation. It's something that we had actually raised with the Haitian government themselves. But there seem to be persons who are taking advantage of the Haitian nationals and sometimes entering legally but exiting illegally, and that in itself is not in conformity with the laws. So I will say that it is a very, very concerning issue, which continues to occupy our mind in terms of how do we address this, because it's a problem.
It was only last week that some 50 starving and abandoned Haitian nationals were rescued by law enforcement officials after they were found wandering along the Linden to Lethem Trail in desperate need of food and water. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Raghuveer.